Okay, I think we're gonna get started. Um, so thank you so much for joining us today. Um, this is not a sales seminar. We want to provide clarity to homeowners, and we want to share some market data and local insights about the current Atlanta market. There's absolutely no pressure to sell. This is more for information. It doesn't matter if you are trying to sell your property in the next 3 months or 3 years. We're hoping that during our presentation, we can give you some detailed instruction or information to help you prepare your house better for today's market. Um, what do you think about the current housing market? I think this is like we have a small selection of people, so I hope everyone can share some insights and what you think and be a more interactive webinar. You can all chip in your thoughts and
I saw that we are reaching the top now.
or what
We are reaching top prices now.
we're reaching top prices. Yeah, we've also seen like market is going to crash and interest rates going to drop and then maybe price going up again. So there's different information that we seeing online. And some of the advice is often outdated, and you can't really evaluate a market just based on what other people say, right? Different submarket, we're seeing different things. So I'm sure it's the same in New York. Different submarket kind of react differently. So a little bit about me. My name is Tina Jinru Sui. I came to United States more than 10 years ago and get my master's degree in real estate development. I work as a senior financial analyst for many years before I become a full-time real estate broker. I also invested in real estate in the past couple of years. I do have a couple of rental units, and the our approach to help our client is always data driven because of my background. So I always like to provide more data and the actual boots on the ground experience so our client can make educated choice. So during the past couple of years, we have achieved some of the awards. Um, some of the agent on my team is here as well. We are top 100 agency team in Georgia by volume, and we're the number one team in our office, in our KW office. We, on an average base, serve about 100 clients a year, and we have strong local relationships with other businesses. We have very tight client relationship, and we also are very close with other agents in our office, and then some other agents in our network. And we do have a history of winning in multiple offer situation. Um, Last year we closed about 40 million, and we did a little bit less than the year before. We closed 90 units, and then um, still number one in our office. Um, we also have a very strong supporting team. Um, Besides our real estate buy and sell team, we also have property management and professional marketing and accounting support. And then offshore, um, we also have offshore support in the Philippines that help us with transactions and cold calls and marketing. And then here are the agent on our team. Want to ask you guys, where are you in this selling process? Or just gathering informations? I guess
Personally,
Nico, you're
I'm gathering information.
gathering informations. Yeah, I think I can probably help you more. Like afterwards, we can connect you with more like local or commercial specialized broker. Um, yeah, and how long you said you own the apartment for more than 10, 20 years?
In my case, yes, longer than 20.
Yeah, good for you. What motivated you to sell, if you don't mind me asking?
I reach an age now that I don't want to have too much headache.
I see. Yeah. Are you considered to do like a 1031 out, 721 to do something passive? Yeah, we have client that own multiple units, and they're considered to sell and then travel and then just don't worry about it. So there are a couple of ways that you can do it with 1031 into the Delaware Statutory Trust or something else, and I can share that information with you later. So, what you can expect to learn from this is to leave with a plan. We're gonna cover mostly residential sale. So we're gonna cover the pre-inspection, the painting and staging, declutter marketing, and pricing strategy. There are four main factors that affect the sale of your home. Condition, marketing, market condition, and pricing strategy. We're gonna in the next couple of in the next hour, we're gonna cover all of that. So first of all, the condition of your home. Um, so we're in a state that pre-inspection is not required, but we'd like to always suggest to our seller to consider pre-inspection because this way you can get to know the problem of the house ahead of time, so you can get those maybe fixed, taken care of before we hit the market. What we're looking for during pre-inspection is there anything that needs upgrade or repair? And then we have inspectors that we work with and partner with that can get this pre-inspection done. And then, seller typically can consider to do one or not. It's really not a requirement, but I think it will help with prepare your home better, and then we'll have less headache during the sale process. And there's also house that as is condition might be a better way to sell. If your house is in the original condition and your home does need many repair, but you're also home the land value of your home is also higher than the home value. We generally think it's better to do a as is sell because a lot of the seller they might not want to do a lot of the renovation if it's in original condition, and you don't know what the buyer in today's market prefer. So some people will do a SSL and then price the property very competitively. So this way we can still get multiple offer. And when buyer does come in, knowing that it's a SSL, and they can pretty much budget to do whatever that they want to do in the future. But in this case, the selling price might not be the best price. that you can get for the house. So the way that we help our client is we want to sort on your timeline. We typically come in when someone telling us they want to consider to sell their house. We come into your house. We give you a detailed plan of what we suggested you to do. We can even bring in our staging consultant to suggest how we can position your home for photo and showing. And if your house need repair or renovation, we also have vendor partners that can help you with renovation of your house and bring the best look when the house is ready for market. We are also connected with other vendors that can help you clean up your house for sale. So here's a little suggestions on how you can declutter your house. You can hold a estate sale. You can sell it online or through an app. You can donate it to charities and friends and families. When we do come in to see your house, we'll give you suggestions on what kind of furniture and what kind of stuff that we suggest you to leave in the house. We typically suggest our clients to declutter and put stuff that's, if it's smaller than your face, probably put it away in a box. So this way the house look clean and tidy. There are a couple of places you can donate your stuff, including Habitat of Humanity, Goodwill, and Big Brother, Big Sisters of America. So just something to consider. So when you prepare your home for market, um, more work doesn't really mean more value. When we talk to some of the seller, they did a lot of stuff before they bring their house to market, and they're expecting their house to gain significant value based on the amount of work that they did. They'll tell us we updated the kitchen, updated all the bathrooms, replaced all the roof. We added a pool. We're expecting to add $100,000 to the house value, but it doesn't typically work like that. When you look at the market, we compare the comps that has similar condition. So it doesn't mean that when you put in $100,000 more to your house will worth 100,000 more. So it's very critical for you to bring in a real estate professional to tell you if your house based on your house current condition, what is the best return on your investment? And then you can get your house prepared for that market. We don't want the sellers to overspend. Some of the stuff that to pay attention to is um, the highly personal designs. We've seen some really interesting houses in the past. It's very personal to the seller, but it doesn't always mean too much to the buyer. So just keep that in mind when you do prepare your house. Try to keep it as neutral as possible. We've seen houses with different colors and different rooms. That's the first thing that the buyer notice, and they want to paint it. They want to get a paint credit. So yeah, just try not to personalize too much when you are trying to prepare to sell. So let's talk about the condition. Um, this is kind of like a workshop. We want to provide you um, some suggestions on how you can prepare your house. For the foliars and hallways, we suggest you to declutter the area to optimize the home flow. So when people enter the house, they can feel it's not blocked. They don't put too much stuff in the foliar to make the space look narrow. You always want to make the space look wider and brighter. This will allow the buyers to envision their life there. And then for the closet and storage space, we suggest you to do a little bit cleanup because buyers can be nosy. They will probably look in your closet and your storage. So you want to sort through your coats and your shoes and accessories, and only keep the things you need. You want to store away your seasonal items and put it in vacuum sealed bags or plastic bins. So this way your closet and your storage space can look very tidy as well. For the kitchen space, we suggest you to clear your workspace and window sills. So this way it can get the natural sunlight coming into your kitchen. We also recommend you to organize your drawers, your cabinets, and pantries, and then remove a lot of the personalized fridge magnets. And then stage the shelves. Some people have those glass doors. It's um, it's it's very important to make sure that you don't put too much stuff in there. So when people like open up, especially those glass shelf, they don't look too messy and you want to clean your appliances. So we always provide our client before we list the property as a deep clean of the house, which include cleaning the appliances. So for your home offices, we recommend you to tidy your paperwork, your office material with trays and holders, stack or store away items from surfaces, and organize and stage your shelf. And for the family areas, we recommend you to remove excessive furnitures, oversized pieces, of course, declutter, and utilize symmetry and simplicity. One room that people always overlook is the playroom. This is designated, this is a designated space for playtime. Um, and when you have young kids, it can get messy very easy. So definitely get some trays and bins, so you can quickly get the small stuffs hide away if you got a showing request. And then for the exterior space, you want to store your trash cans so it's out of sight. You want to clean out your shed, trim overgrown landscaping. One of the things that always come up in the inspection report is the bushes is too close to the house, which create moisture. So definitely trim away your the bushes and the overgrown landscaping, remove debris, um, and make the yard look pretty. So there's magic in the painting and staging. We'll show you some examples of the changes it made when we do paint and stage. And staging doesn't mean remodeling. We're simply putting item in for people to imagine themselves living in there. Sorry, the picture looks a little blurry, but the above picture, the difference between the above and the bottom is actually the paint color, and the staging. So you can tell that before we come in, they listed it with kind of beige, yellowish color walls. They didn't really painted it. The rooms look spacious, and everything look pretty classic. But once we repainted the house and put staging furnitures in, it make a big difference. It make it more modern. And this is another example of a vacant and staged room. So it basically gives people the chance to imagine what their life will be in that room. For this room, we painted it. It make a crowded space actually look a lot brighter and bigger. This is just a different angle of the same room. So for this, you can tell there's some older tiles. Um, all we did is to paint the tiles. We didn't really replace the tiles. So some of the older house will have those type of like salmon color tiles. It shows the age. Sometimes you don't really have to redo all of this. All you need to do is it's a simple paint the tiles. So this is another example of a inexpensive update. In this kitchen, what we did is actually just painted the cabinet white and then replace the tile to the LVP floor. This is not expensive at all. This is another angle of the same room. It just give it a brand new look. So for this is a home office. Um, this is example of you taking out the bulky furniture and adding some brighter accessories to make the space look brighter and bigger. So it's also very important to provide professional photography. Um, you can tell that those are some of the example of um, the professional photography. Um, we try to kind of capture the best look. Sometimes it might be a sunset look. And sometimes it might be like an aerial look to see if when you have a bigger property has land. Sometimes I'll have another picture to show you. Um, if you do an aerial look, it might bring up the um, it catch people's attention and then make people realize like it's not just the building itself, it's actually including the lands and um the farm, the barns and everything. So professional photography is back in the days, it was in the book, MLS books. And then we go through like MLS listings that you take photos on your phones and stuff. Now, when we do photographer, it's all taken by professional photographer, and then we engage in digital platform like our websites. We also have website. We also have like property specific website for each properties that we list. And your property photo gonna be pretty much everywhere. So this is an example of that aerial look that I was talking about. This picture on the left, can you see? This picture on the left is basically just from the front. It didn't even capture the whole house. But if you take a picture of a little bit above the aerial look, you can see the whole property with the land behind it. I'm so sorry, I have a train go by my place right now. So our professional photographer also will capture the lifestyle for the property. If you have a nice backyard, we try to capture all of that. If you have a good night view, we can also like send the photographer back during nighttime to um, capture it in the dark. There's also difference between different photographer. We interview a lot of different photographer and trying to make sure that um, their style and their angle is correct. So you can see the top one is from one photographer, the bottom one is from our photographer. It's different brightness and different angle that show place kind of in different lights. Um, we like to we'd like to be consistent on the type of marketing materials that we send out. And the detail, you can't miss the detail. So for the top one, it's from another listing agent. Theirs is just looks significantly darker, in my opinion. Um, if you go into the house, it it's actually brighter. I think the bottom one is more like what's like the actual house. And then we also try to make sure they capture all the characters in the house. Um, so this one on the left, um, it just shows the wall with pictures on it and a whole bunch of stairs. But the one on the right, you'll see the stairs, the wall, and then there's seats here. It kind of create a very cozy um, feeling. Um, and we're gonna talk about our marketings. So what we do on marketing wise is um, a systematic marketing strategy. We not only put your property on MLS and waiting for things to happen, we actually have different stage and different checklists for different stage. We make sure that we give your property the best exposure possible. So all of our property, the marketing come with professional photos, 3D tour, floor plans, interactive floor plans, Zillow Showcase for certain price range. And then we also do a lot of social media stuff. We post your properties on different groups. We send it to our Keller Williams network. We do digital marketing on paid ads, and we send out emails. We do reverse prospecting, which means we send out emails to other agents in our network, or having a client that's interested in your house. So so they can recommend this property to their clients. Um, we also work with team of specialists that can help you get your house ready for market, including a lot of different vendors, cleaners, um, videographer. So we're trying to make your life as easy as possible to connect you with different people that can bring the best value out of your house. So before we list your house on market, we do coming soon advertising. We do the reverse prospecting. Our IRA will call the listing agent. We send out email with link for them. And then on our website, we always have property specific website. When we have a property listed, they all come with 25 to 50 professional photos with interactive floor plans, cinematic video, 3D tour. Disclosures are on each website, and then virtual open house, and community. Some of the community information will be there as well. And your listing will be blasted out to all of the third-party sites. For Zillow, we have a relationship with Zillow, so they will place our listings um, at a priorities as space. So this way, I get more exposure. Um, this is the Zillow showcase that I mentioned. So basically, if we not everyone has Zillow showcase. Zillow only offer 10% of the agent showcase. And we are one of the team in Georgia that we can provide our client the Zillow Showcase advantage. So they basically will place our listings at a top place when people search in the area, and um, and then it's a more I guess it's a more detailed listing with kind of like a guided tour that you can click through the floor plan and see where everything's at. We'll also provide seller feedback reports to tell you how much exposures that we have on different websites, and we'll give you this report on a weekly basis and showing feedbacks. So this way, you will understand like how much marketing that we've done and what the other side is talking about, the feedback for your house. We put so this is in our Friday emails to all of our database. We have about 14,000 people in our database, including realtors and other consumers. Basically, on this flyer, get a QR code to the property website, and it has disclosures and everything in there. We also put this in the house because nowadays, since the real estate law has changed, the sellers are not required to pay buyer agent commission, and some of the buyers are afraid that bringing a buyer's agent, it might increase the cost of sale for the seller. And we see more people coming through open house without a buyer agent representation. So we're trying to make things easier for both party by letting them scan this code, and then they'll be able to see the disclosures and everything related to this house. Um, we just can't represent them, but we also won't do dual agency. So this way, if our client, our seller on the listing has a buyer represented, we'll only represent the seller and provide them with necessary information and save some commission money from for our sellers. So this is an example of our Facebook social media post. We try to post our listings pretty much everywhere. There's different group online. We send it to TikTok, Instagram. We got we got 5 agents on our team. All of us will post something. Excuse me. We'll post something on our social media to try to give your listing more exposure. Um, we're also in the network of relocation, a couple of relocation agencies. So we get about 15% of our business from out of town clients. Either they want to relocate to Georgia for the weather or um, just better quality of life. So we do work with a lot of relocation clients, and we also refer out a lot of the relocation clients. So we have relationship with some of the relocation directors, and we do work with pretty much all relocation companies. So we do marketing beyond the MLS. We try to give you the most exposure possible. Some people might just like list your property on MLS. That's the bare minimum. Of course, we're gonna list it on all the MLS, but we also combine it with digital, digital showcase and digital marketing, and then connect it with our agent network um, to help you achieve the most exposure possible. Timing also matters. We're gonna talk about like the first 14 days is crucial, and it's how is it linked to the pricing strategy. So a little bit more about our current market condition. There are three type of market, right? There's seller's market, there's buyer's market, and then there's the balanced or shifting market. What do you think we're in? Do you think we're in a seller's market? Can anyone give me some of your letting me know? Are you in a seller's market or are you in a buyer's market?
I think the kind of from buyer's market a little bit shift already. Some house if in good condition, good price, really go under contract fast, not like before.
Yeah, I think that's what we've seen too. Um, So, just so you know, like everybody know what's the difference. So, sellers market, we have more buyers than inventory. And for buyers market, we have more inventory than buyer. And then for a shifting market, or a balanced market, which is what I think we're in, um, this we gotta see each market differently because in certain area in Atlanta, like Johns Creek, Alpharetta, East Cobb, I do feel like it's more leaning towards a seller's market. Towards the end of last year, we definitely see most of the area become a buyer's market. So, working with an agent that specializes in the area and and have a lot of experience with the market is very crucial in today's market. So what we've seen right now, um, and the forecast of 2026 is home sales has leveled out for now while inventory remains low. Continuous suburban migration from urban environment. This not only is locally but also kind of nationally. We've seen people moving from the north to the south. And then we also see people like even in Atlanta moving from the city to the suburbs. Some people have paused. Some people have paused their home purchasing because of interest rate gets so high. And we also see migration for more land and lower tax because in different areas in Georgia, different county, the tax is also different. Like if you're driving from Cobb County to Gwinnett County, it's like a hour. It's like an hour, right? In Cobb County, you see 1% property tax. Gwinnett County, you see 1.4% in property tax. So people are moving to get lower property tax for sure. So the pro of today's market is um, we we don't see a lot of inventory coming to market. We're hopefully once interest rates start to go down, we'll see more inventories. But so far, a lot of areas are still not having enough inventories, and the home price for that reason hold pretty steady. Spring market rush is coming in, which is good. Interest rate is trending down, which is also very good. So, the con is we do have interest rate that is doubled than 2, 3 years ago, and the inflation definitely need to come down. A lot of the homeowner are being priced out because of interest rate, and we've seen like first-time home buyers average age has gone up. Last year, I think it was like 40 years old. It's when the average first-time home buyer's age is 40 years old. So what's actually happened right now is this is based on what we've seen locally, is buyers are getting more selective and demands is vary by price range. for a certain price range, like 500K to 700K in certain good school district, the houses are gone very quickly. We got a house last week on market. First day it received 4 offers. So we definitely see there's more competitions right now. And the well-priced homes still move very quickly, but overpriced home will stop. And you'll see their days on market tend to be higher. So right now in Atlanta, the median home price is 395,000. Compared to last year at the same time, it dropped 1.5%. The average days on market is 37 days. And the sell to list price ratio is 98.7%, which means if you list your house for 1 million, it sell for 980. And then the active inventory is 3.8 months. This means if there's no additional inventory come to the market, it takes about 3.8 months to sell all of the existing inventory. This number is not bad. In certain area, as I mentioned, this is kind of like an average price, average number. In certain area, we've seen like 13 months. Basically, they have a lot of new construction inventory that's in kind of inflated the inventory. So what buyers are avoiding right now? They're avoiding projects. They don't want to do anything. Because labor has gone up. In our market, if you renovate a bathroom, it can cost you 20,000. And they don't want over customized homes. And they're very cautious about like home that sits longer. Sometimes when when sellers price their house high and their house will sit on market for longer. And then even though the house has nothing wrong, we still see overpriced home will sit on the market for longer time. Um, so that brings us to pricing strategies. Um, your home value isn't a number. This is the algorithm doesn't see what buyer feel, and this is why we don't recommend clients to use the Zestimate or other websites estimated number to decide their home value because those website doesn't really see the condition, the upgrades of your house. They don't see the layout and the location of your house. They use big data to kind of come up. I don't really know how they calculate it, but it's it's sometimes it can be way off. We got a we got a house before we listed on the market. It listed for like 680, and then based on the comps and the condition of the house, we feel like we can list it for like 740. And the moment that we list it online, Zillow's estimate instantly increased the value. So it can be very crazy about how they come up with their number. Sorry, I can't find my mouse. Sorry. So how buyers compare homes? You can think about pricing as positioning. A good price is like an invitation to the house for people to come toward the house. Under market, typically, if you price it a little bit under market, we can bring competition. sorry, we can bring competition to the listing. And then if you add market, there's activities, but there's just not too much activity. And then over market, we see buyer will hesitate. So for the first 30 days is our window of leverage. We want to use the first 30 days to bring you the maximum exposure, create buyer urgency by price it a little bit under market. So this way the offers will come in competitively so we can get more negotiating power. There's different terms in our contract. In Georgia, we we have three contingencies. If you have a financed contract, you have due diligence, you have financing contingency, appraisal contingency. We want to bring in the best term at the best price. So by listed it strategically and providing you the maximum of marketing to give you the maximum amount of exposure, we want to bring you the best term during those first 30 days. So right now we've heard a lot of sellers saying that they want to list high, they can just adjust it later. The truth is the best offer usually come early and it's most likely the first offer. Buyer don't mind outdated space. This is not a lot of the buyers, especially younger buyers, they don't want renovation. This is a new trend that we've seen. So they want something that's pretty turnkey and they can move into. Um, and then seller are thinking a price drop means something is, sorry, the buyer think the price drop means something is wrong. Um, it's not like the way that we always like to provide our client up to date market feedbacks is so that we can adjust our price quickly based on the market feedbacks. So this way we can still bring the right buyers back. Marketing alone sells a home. This is not true at all. Um, Regardless of how much marketing we're doing, if we price high, the property is still gonna sit. And then online estimate equals market value. This is um, not true. The true value of a home is based on how much the buyer is willing to pay. Um, Waiting won't hurt us. This is not true. Time on market opens, we can leverage because people think there's something wrong with it. And then you will get like less and less buyer. So selling is it's a strategic decision. It's not a guess, not a gamble. Um, let's talk about the factors that do not affect your value. Um, your original cost doesn't affect your value. We've seen a lot of buyer will say, "Hey, we bought this house 20 years ago. They bought this house 20 years ago for only 200K. Um, and now they're selling it for 600K. That has nothing to do with the buyer. It's just how the market is. The cost to rebuild your house is not affecting your value. The personal attachment and the items in there does not affect your value. The amount you spend on improvement, this we kind of covered earlier, it not always affect your value. It depends on what area that you put your money in, and the certain type of improvement. So if you don't price your house right, and there's risk of overpricing, which includes you're gonna help your competitors sell their house. We've seen this last week too. Someone lists their house at 490, and then a similar house on the market pretty much hit the market at the same time at 420. So Our buyer didn't get the 421 because it, of course, create urgency and multiple offer, and they went under contract quickly. So that 490 house actually helps the 421 because they pretty much have the same condition. And then it also discouraged qualified buyers from from setting appointment or like putting in an offer if the price gap is huge. And it'll reduce your market response. It'll also attract bargain hunters as days on market grow. There's a lot of investors that's sending out like cash offers significantly lower than the market price. And we see that happen a lot on listings that's on market for like more than 60 days. So time is the enemy of price. The longer it sits, the less likely you will get the price you want. And also location matters. So on the main street, this is in the same area. On the main street, the price is 643. In the cul-de-sac, it can sell for 900. In the same neighborhood, why so much difference? Um, they're actually also zoned for a different school. So doesn't always in the same neighborhood zone for the same school. So location in the same neighborhood also matters a lot. So now that your house is getting offers, the best offer isn't always the highest because if they have a higher financing risk, meaning that the financial contingency is very long, or the buyer has only put down a very small amount of down payment, and their lender is not they did not get a pre-approved. We always trying to double check all of that, all of those factors. And then in certain offers, as I mentioned in Georgia, we have appraisal contingency as well. So if people like put in offer higher, it might not appraise, and they still gonna have a lender issue. And then like how long is your due diligence also matters. During COVID, we've seen like people waiving their due diligence as well, which means that they're pretty much not going to bargain at all. Um, and then the timeline certainty. Some offer will come with property sale contingency, which means they have to sell their current house to purchase your house. Those are also risk. So when you get a good offer, like good price offer, you want to look at all of this to making sure that's a safe offer to take because you don't want to take your property off market for a while only to know that this buyer is not qualified and then you still have to terminate it. So this is some of the key terms that we want to pay attention to is your closing date, your inspection dates, um, sign off as is sell, is there survey with disclosure provided, is it contingent on sale or rent of other properties? Is it a cash offer? Can they provide proof of fund for cash offer? Um, can they put in a larger down payment? It also helps. If the house does not appraise, that's also a risk. How long is their appraisal contingency? And who's their attorney? Is this an attorney that you always work with, or is this is a new attorney that doesn't have too much experience? We want to vet all of that when we get an offer. So we've also seen sellers have this question, but where should I move when I do sell the house? Do you need to sell before buying? Um, there's some options if you need to if you need to sell before you buy, because not always people have enough down payment to put down for their next house. We can help you explore temporary housing options. As I mentioned before, we also have a property management division. We have connections to short-term rental properties that we can help you to live there temporarily, to explore and find your next house after the sale of your current house. Or we can work with you to simultaneously buy and sell. So you have a very close closing date. We'll probably need to close on your house and then purchase another one, but in the same day. So the timing is very crucial in this type of transaction. We can also ask when we sell your house to ask the buyer for up to 60 days of temporary occupancy, which means you can stay in your house but close on your house, and stay in the same house for additional 60 days. So this way, you're kind of like a tenant to the house, and you can have enough time to find your next house. Right now, we've seen people asking for rent if you explore this option. But if you price your house right and you get multiple offers, we might be able to negotiate to have a free rent period after you sell your house and get you to stay in the house for a little bit longer to avoid that you have to move twice. So what we're trying to do is to empower our client to net you more because we do more. We want to empower you through consultation and education so that you can make the best decision for your family. And we deliver on our promise. We do what we say, and we're going to do what we committed. And then we also give back to our community. We do a lot of client events. We also give back to charities, and we want to earn your confidence and trust by making you feel like you are our only client. Anybody get any questions? I hope you get some tips on how to prepare your house, um, and some inside idea on the current Atlanta market.
You have done an amazing presentation.
Oh, thank you so much. This is actually the first time we use this PowerPoint